Alright lads and lasses, I'm Xcentric Racer. We're back on Forza Motorsport 7 for another Forza Community. This time we're doing a one make race with the Ford Racing Capris. First race we're at Nürburgring, and as you can see I'm trying to go up the inside of the pink Capri, give it a little bit of a tap. You probably saw in the background, one of them missed a braking point massively. One thing a lot of drivers learned about the Capri, massive turbo lag. And it does like to throw the back end out if you're not careful with the throttle, as the Jaeger one is finding out. I was going up the inside of it. The pink one was coming a little bit under fire from the white and blue Recaro one. Recaro. Didn't lose any positions. I think probably got slightly connected there, ran a little bit wide. The grey one was trying to go up the inside of the Jaeger, and the Jaeger still held its position, but gets hung out to dry. And when you're fighting this close especially, if you're getting hung out to dry, you're not going to lose time, you're going to lose positions as well. At the front, I'm trying to go around the outside. There, that's a pretty scary place, let alone when you have very slidey Capris. I didn't quite make the position, but I was pretty close. Speaking of the battle for the lead, I was currently chasing down the red and blue Capri, down the back straight, and there's a big braking zone, really good overtaking opportunity. I dive up the inside. It does a really good job holding it there, but that turbo spin, that's what happens. I get a good run, so I could just keep it around the outside. I don't know if you noticed there, but the back of my car actually got lifted up. That was a danger I wasn't quite expecting, but I should have thought about. No matter though, no real time was lost. Coming down in the first corner, the red and blue is trying to go around the outside. It's not going to bother too much. I can just defend, and you can see just the back end stepping out into his. I did manage to find the groove with the Capris around here. I just managed to find the point at which I can be on the throttle so that the turbos won't lag, but I don't get uncontrollable oversteer out of every corner. As we go further back, the Jaeger did fall back, was coming under threat from the red and chrome Capri. The orange and black one misses its braking point. Looks like it lightly taps the black of the red and chrome. Thankfully though, no real time was lost. Coming up to this part, this bit was kind of terrifying in the Capris. Clip the curb and you can see just how much oversteer the red and chrome one gets from lightly tapping the curbs. Looks like it misses a braking point, runs a bit wide. Thankfully though, for him, there's the orange and black car was just too far back to try and make a move. Coming onto the back straight, you can see just the little twitches. These guys sort of sorted themselves out. However, the Jaeger Capri just ran wide and clattered the tyre bundle. For a little while, the grid kind of just separated. There wasn't really any close racing between anyone. For a while, this was probably the closest, but you can see there's no real fighting going on. There's just drivers trying to fight the Capri. Later on in the race though, the red Capri slides around one part, the pink one slides around another part. However, get things a bit worse. Couldn't quite catch it and just clatters the tyre bundle. That allows the grey and blue to catch up, and immediately the pink one is going to have to think about defending. But the grey one, again, was just too far back and didn't get a very good run on the back straight, but didn't lose too much time. It is still there. However, it does get a very good run through the chicane. I can't tell whether there was a slight collision or the small crest just through the pink Capri for a mini slide, because that is a very dangerous crest. It's very small, but a lot of drivers here were complaining about that. The pink one blocks the brakes, goes on the curb, gets a bunch of oversteer. Does mean though that was on the inside for the first corner, but the grey one would just defend, gets the inside for the next corner, but the pink one can just throw it up the inside due to the grey one getting a bit of oversteer. The grey one is still there. The door kind of closed there. The grey one thought better of it and just backed off. You can see they're still fighting for control with the Capris. The pink one sliding into the corner, the grey one sliding out of the corner, and these two were fairly close for the majority of the race, I'd say. The trick with the Capri, like I said, if you can find the throttle threshold where the turbos are still spooled but you don't get a lot of oversteer, that's where you're going to get a lot of speed. The grey one gets a good run, so that chicane is going to gain time on the pink Capri, but it's still going to be too far back really to try and make any aggressive moves to get the overtake. And on the back straight, I mean, you can see how close they are, but it's just not going to be close enough to really get any overtakes. Except for here though, the grey one gets a very good run. Well, it's quite late on the brakes, however, he's quite slow coming out of that chicane. So the pink one can just use that bit of run, gain time. I think the grey one as well around the final corner gets a bit of turbo oversteer. At the front, I ran away. I was just consistent, I didn't really make any mistakes, and I managed to keep the Capri under control for the entirety of that race. So therefore, I would take race 1, Childish would take second with the red and blue, and Millennium On would take third with the pink. Race 2, we'd head to Indianapolis. I get a blistering start. It was a fantastic start. I was like, what, 9th? And you can see I was about 4th. The pink one was able to throw up the inside. I got a light tap at the back. It was alright though, I didn't really lose any time. I do get a better run than the pink one, however I'm still forced round the outside. All I need to focus on though is get a better corner exit. Now, those three, I think, forgot which track we were going. I kind of did as well. Me and the pink one had it coming together. I did manage to catch the oversteer, and no real time was lost. And you can see how chaotic that one was. We were going 4 wide into this narrow section. The white and blue Recaro gets forced wide, runs across the curbs, gets a lot of oversteer. I'm then coming up against the orange and black. I get a very good run onto the back straight and dive up the inside. The orange one gives a little bit of a tap. It's alright though, as I'm able to get back on the track safely. However, the grey one and pink one will immediately start fighting back. The grey one tried to go up the inside. It does mean it's on the outside from behind the corner. Excuse me. As we look at the same battle, but from a further back perspective, the pink one is trying to go around the outside of the orange one. The orange one, again, misses its braking point. Kind of forces the grey one wide. The pink one can just use that advantage, dive up the inside, not lose any time. And that was good for that. As we look again at the battle further back, the chrome and red one was having a lot of desync issues, so just decided the better thing to do was just pull out the side. The white and blue Recaro one was trying to look away past the orange and black. The orange and black one's very wide, however, still compromises. The Recaro can just stay ahead, and the Recaro can't really look at any positions to try and overtake. The orange one, however, gets a very compromised run onto the sort of banked corner. A little bit of corner cutting, some interesting lines there. I can't tell whether it tapped the orange one. The orange one ran wide, especially at the hairpin as well. I just allowed the white and blue Recaro Capri to just throw up the inside and not lose too much time. But the orange one was still fighting back as we're coming out into the big braking zone, first corner. Replay cameras aren't really helping, but the Recaro one just gets a good enough run that the orange one can't really try and overtake in any way, shape or form. Come down to the chicane, and the white and blue just pulls a gap. Now, over this was battle for second, me and this pink one were gaining on the leader, which was the red and blue one. And the pink one was just happy to sort of follow my lines, as I was sort of helping it through the field. You can see it's looking up the inside, having some sniffs. However, it's too far back, and all that's going to do is just compromise it, especially here. Runs across the grass a little bit. I try and get as good a run as possible, try and make some time, but the pink Capri can just sit in the draft and can just have a helpful tow towards me. Gets a very good run through turn 1. I think I locked the brakes slightly, and you can see the pink one gained a lot of time, and I do mean a lot of time. You can see how close it was to the back of me, and the field would kind of be separated for a little while. Thankfully though, later on the battling does come closer. The pink one is just focusing on its race, trying to overtake me. Does some grass cutting, more interesting lines going on. There's a lot of interesting track boundaries, I do think. But I'm not gonna force. I'm not gonna be angry at them. I mean, not all of us. I mean, we've not driven the Capris for very long, so we're still sort of learning, even after a couple of races. As time went on, I would catch up to the red and blue one, and we would stop fighting, which is a good thing for the pink one, because as we fight, we slow ourselves. The pink one is in clean air, so we'll just gain a lot of time. As you can see, as we're coming on to the first banked section before it goes back in the infield, I'm late on the brakes, trying to look at the inside. I'm too far back, but I am compromising the red and blue. Again, I'm looking at the insides. It does mean, however, I am on the outside for this section. The red and blue bobbles the curbs a little bit. I'm stuck on the outside. I thought, instead of running on the grass, back off, use the draft that I'd get from the red and blue, and then have a dive at turn 1. I get the brakes spot on. The red and blue, I think, just didn't put on enough brake pressure, and that mistake, plus a big slide on the next corner, would allow the pink one to catch up. And as we spectate the red and blue, you can see the pink one is trying to go around the outside, was much later on the brakes, and was so good on the brakes, in fact, nearly went up the inside of me. That was very impressive. That was incredibly good driving there. The red and blue one was trying to fight back up the inside. It was just too far back to try and make any moves. So unfortunately for him, couldn't make any positions. Both this and the pink Capri rubbed the wall a little bit. Not too much though. And no damage was done whatsoever to the cars. And this battle would go on for the remainder of the race. Me in the lead against the pink Capri against the red and blue Capri. Red and blue was falling back a little bit, but if anyone made any mistakes, was it just in pouncing distance. And again, you can see the pink Capri got a very good run through turn 1. Was going to have a dive up the inside. As we look through the pink one's perspective, you can see I run wide. I'm just trying to focus on the corner exit. The pink one goes up the inside, gets a minor twitch, and over the curbs. The red one does a bit of shortcutting. However, I can't really break away from the pink one, and the pink one is going to try and go around the outside of me. I'm a little bit better on the brakes this time, so I can't make a move. The red and blue is again diving up the inside, seeing if he can make any overpasses. Can't, was just too far back, and was right up to the back of the pink one, but couldn't make the move. That just allowed me to gain a little bit of time. I'm just focusing on my line here. I'm not having to defend too much. I was conscious of the pink Capri behind, and as we're coming now onto the straight, I think this was for coming on to the final lap, or is the final lap, and you can see just how close us three were. I'm coming onto the brakes into turn 1. Oh, that was the final lap. Well, I'd take the lead. Millennium on with the pink Capri would take second, and Not Childish would take third with the red one, with the red and blue. Final race, we'd head to Suzuka alternate, and as you can see, it's thunderclouds, because yes, we're dealing with rain. Turbo lag Capris and rain equals death. For most of us anyway. As we're coming on now to the S's, I was looking for a way past on the grey Capri. Grey Capri was just defending, was just sticking to the inside lines. I was just compromising me. All I was trying to do was see if we could get a good run. I do actually, as we're going now onto the west part. I can just get up the inside and I get a very good run, so I'm not having to worry too much about defending. The grey one, again, gets a little bit of that turbo bobble. The pink one was coming under fire from the white and blue Recaro. The pink one though was fighting back, trying to go around the outside of this horrible chicane. The white and blue gets a very compromised run because it tapped the chicane wall. Don't worry, a lot of people have tapped that wall. It's a nasty chicane, but it does compromise the pink one. The pink one can't really get an overtake as we're now going out of Spoon. At least I think it's Spoon. If that's not the name of the corner, then you can call me the name of the corner. The pink one gets a very good run up to 130R. I do know that. I hope. The white and blue was just too early on the brakes. Just decided to back out. Now, this one, the racing unfortunately didn't really happen. This was the closest battle for the majority of the race. well, I'll say for the majority of the race, majority of the dry part, me up against Childish with the red and blue Capri. And you can just see he gets a little bit of better runs through the S's. I get a little bit of a wiggle, just bobbling the curbs, get a bit of oversteer. Excuse me. But you can see coming out the next corner, the red and blue gets an even bigger oversteer moment. As we're now back onto the west part, I'll probably cut the corner a little bit there. All I'm trying to do at this point is just keep the pressure on, trying to force a mistake, well, not force a mistake, trying to get a mistake out of it. I was too far back to really try an overtake move on the hairpin and the chicane. I'm not even going to bother. I'll just back off, try and get a good exit, heading up to the double left-hander, which I think is called Spoon. The red and blue one though still gets a good run, and I'm again just focusing on myself, trying to get a good run so I can make a move. Also ignore the over revving of the car. I'm using manual with clutch, and Forza replays do that. I get a very good run through 130R. You can see I'm right to the back of it. I almost hit the back. Thankfully I didn't. He ran wide. I dove up the inside, and the rain started. But us two were still very close. I was then going to start making a move. Well, I tried to. However, the water started to surface, and then the red and blue absolutely buggered off. There was nothing I could do. It really impressed everyone in this race. We genuinely thought the rain didn't surface for him. I mean, you can see through the S's how much time he's gained. It was an absolute insane drive by him, and I would never see him again. As the rain continued, this was really the only fight. The white and red Capri get a little bit of turbo oversteer. The Jaeger one would do the exact same. Gives the white and red a bit of a knock. Didn't really affect any. But once the rain started, everyone was struggling. Well, I say everyone. Everyone bar one. The white and red ran wide, went on like the AstroTurf, and then just got turbo oversteered, looked like, and then just went to the inside wall. And after that short race, this was the only one. The orange and black Capri was starting to fight the pink one. Gets a big slide, that does allow it though to get up the inside, can't quite make the move. Gets a little bit of a compromised run, however it can just sit in the draft. Was trying to look up the inside, couldn't quite do it, was just that smidge too far back. However, the pink Capri just gets a very bad run out the hairpin, gets too much oversteer, and the pink one, the orange and black one, that white and red one was a lap down. The orange one would go around the outside into the first part of the chicane. That was a very good overtake. But like I said, that was really the only battle. And at the front, the red and blue Capri flew. Absolutely flew. So for race 3, Childish would take the win, I would take second, and Yeet would take third in the Grey Capri. this evening was a lot of fun. It was massively enjoyable, and I do hope you enjoyed as well. If you did, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all that. And if you do want to sign up, there will be a link in the description for you to join in. These are currently happening at Monday, 7 PM GMT. That will most likely change at some point once things are getting back to normal. However, that is it from me. Till next time, ciao for now.